It's that time of year. The time of year when self-help content creators start to tell you exactly what you need to do in 2025 to have a glow up, to be successful, to become the best version of yourself, to have the best year of your life. They've got the advice for you. And listen, I am not here to be a hater. I love self-help. I make self-help content. I literally talk about mindset and how that can improve your life. My aim is to help online, and therefore we're not hating on the self-help, but we do need to dig into some issues. So in this episode, we're going to break down why self-help content is so attractive to us, why it's so popular at this time of year, why we eat it up, okay? Also, why seeking advice online can be helpful, but also can be harmful. And most importantly, I'm going to share my take on how you can take the things you learn online from me or from someone else and actually upgrade your life in 2025. So let's get into it. So hello everyone, and welcome back to Mindset Matters, the podcast where we choose to look at life through a lens of resilience, presence, and gratitude, and where we choose to live with purpose and grow with intention. My name's Vic. I'm your host. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and let's get right into the episode. So, first of all, self-help content is everywhere. Okay, it's so easy to search anything on any platform and find results. How to be more confident in 2025, how to be successful in 2025, how to start a YouTube channel in 2025, how to make more friends, how to stop caring what people think, how to manifest. Okay, the list goes on. Any problem that you have, there is someone who is offering their 2 cents on how to solve it. And I think that this time of year is especially lucrative for this type of content because people want to glow up. This is the time of year where we want to feel like we're going to step into new year our best selves, and we're going to actually change our life in 2025. And I think it's normal that these types of videos tend to be popular at this time of year, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that, okay? There's nothing wrong with these types of videos. There's a lot of successful people who can share their stories and insights on what worked for them, and that can be a really, really good thing. So I want to start by getting into why we love self-help content, and I think the first reason is that watching some sort of self-help video feels really good. It almost feels like a quick fix. I'd argue that just the act of watching a self-help video feels really good. It feels like we're being productive, watching helpful content versus just scrolling and wasting time online. So it feels more intentional. It feels good. It feels inspiring. Okay. Second reason we love self-help content. We love a transformation. Okay. I think, seeing the title How I Glowed Up in 2024, or 10 Things I'm Leaving Behind in 2024, or 5 Things I'm Taking With Me to 2025. It is motivational and it is inspiring to hear other people's stories and to see what type of success other people have encountered. And so I think even if you're watching a 10-15 minute video, you can feel like you're being productive in that time. And I think we also love to feel well, if they can do it, so can I, right? I think the power of the internet these days is the fact that there are so many just regular people who made something for themselves. And it's this idea that anyone can do it. And so, yeah, you should go for it. So I guess what is the problem? Let's shift into what I think is maybe an issue with this type of content or with the whole quick fix idea. Because it feels good to watch these types of videos. It's a quick fix. You watch a 10-minute video, you feel so inspired, and you're like, okay, yes, this feels good. This feels motivating. But like, I feel like sometimes that distracts us from actually implementing and taking action in our own life. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like we watch someone else and you're like, wow, it feels good. I feel motivated. But now what do you do when you turn off that computer? What do you do when you look away from your phone? Do you just go back to scrolling? Do you go back to your unhealthy habits? Do you go back to, just the status quo for whatever your life looks like right now? Right? It's like we feel inspired by self-help content, and it almost gives us that dopamine hit that any social media gives us. And then we're kind of satisfied and we go back to just doing our regular schmegular life activities. And I just want to put in a side note here. I've actually turned away from short form content. I've decided that I don't like it anymore. I don't consume it anymore. I've been off TikTok and Instagram for a bit over a month now, and I'm just noticing how much more intentional I feel about how I spend my time and how I look at content. And I do think there can be great short form content out there. I used to make TikToks regularly talking about mindset and life and whatever, but I think it's just too stimulating, overstimulating. I don't love feeling like I'm wasting my time scrolling, or like you have to scroll until you get to something good. I also feel like it's so easy to see a short form video that is inspiring, but then you immediately forget about it because there's just so many other videos that you're watching. So I personally have been enjoying more long form content, and it just feels more intentional to me. And like the argument here with this whole short form versus long form content is like, I really believe we need time to process what we've seen on the internet, right? So if you see something that's inspiring to you, but then you immediately stop thinking about it, it's not going to really have much of an impact on your life. Whereas if you can actually take time to process and think about what that means for you and how you can actually implement these ideas, that's where it's going to be helpful for you, right? Because while I think the self-help creators will tell us what they did or what worked for them or what you should do, at the end of the day, it might not work for you, or it's not going to look exactly the same, because you are you and you are unique and you have a completely different life than everybody else. And so, while yes, we can get inspired by what we see from other people, I think it's really important that we have that self-reflection piece of, okay, but is the way that they did this something that I could implement? Or how would that look for me? Or am I just on to the next video and then you forget about that inspiring thing that you saw? So I hope that this is making sense so far. And I do think, like, yes, there are principles to manifestation, and I'm going to get into this a little bit later of like how to align your thoughts, words, actions, and feelings. And when you can align those things, I think this can be applicable to everyone. And, we've seen it from other people like Joe Dispenza, Neville Goddard, these principles of how to use your thoughts to manifest anything that you want in your life. Okay, it's not just about thoughts. It's like thoughts, feelings, actions, words, all combined, all aligned. And we'll get into that a little bit later. But I think what happens is most people just don't do the work. Okay, they see these videos, they're popular because we love the transformation. Okay, these videos get hundreds of thousands of views, but how many people of those 100,000 watching are actually going to change their life in 2025? How many of them are just feeling productive by watching the video and then doing nothing about it? So I'd like to give my 2 cents on how you can take any 2025, why did I say it like that? 2025, any self-help and make real change. Okay, so first of all, I would ask you to get real with yourself, as I often do. Let's try to be honest, okay? Are you watching a bunch of these types of videos to escape your own reality? Or as a feel-good distraction without actually taking action? Okay, something to think about. Something to think about. Are you inspired? And you're like, yes, I love this. I feel motivated. And then you don't do anything about it. Okay? It happens. You're not alone. If this is you, you're definitely not alone. Okay. Another question. How many different opinions are you taking in? Because I do think the more content we consume, the more conflicting ideas are presented to us, it can also make it more challenging for us to know what to do. Because again, this person's going to say that you should do this. This person's going to give a different piece of advice. This person's going to tell you their story. And I think ultimately, you have to even be mindful of what you're consuming. So think about, who are you watching? And reflect, why do you like their advice? What about their story inspires you? Like, what do you like about this person's approach? And I do think you should be able to articulate that. If you are a subscriber on Mindset Matters channel, like, why do you like what I have to say? You should be able to articulate, I like what Vic says because blank. Or this is what I've actually been able to implement. Oh my gosh, I'm like so tongue-tied right now. Okay. And I think it's good to reflect on that and be able to articulate like why you like someone's journey or what about their content inspires you. And of course, you're going to stumble upon a random video. We all do, where we see a catchy thumbnail, we click on it, and it ends up being really great advice. And we're like, wow. You ever get a video and you're like, oh my gosh, the universe sent me this. Like, this is so aligned to how I'm feeling right now. And I think it's always so funny when we have those feelings of like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I needed right now in this moment. But again, are you doing anything about it? Are you actually taking that information and creating positive change in your life? Okay, so I think it's important to reflect on who we're watching, why we like their advice, and then lastly, reflect on how their advice might apply to you in your life. Because again, you're unique. Your journey, your identity, your experience is completely unique to you. And I really believe that ultimately there needs to be this agency of like, yes, I have the power to glow up in 2025, to be more successful, to change certain aspects of my life or to improve certain aspects of my life. But you have to decide what that looks like for you. And I think you can't put all of that emphasis on outside forces. You can't just say, okay, this person says I should do this, so this is exactly what I'm going to do. Well, how does that apply to you? And how can it positively impact your life? So those are my thoughts on how to actually kind of be critical about what we're watching. I want to now share, listen to what I have to say and decide if it works for you, if you can apply it in your life. And if you don't agree with what I have to say, that's okay. You could find someone else, but just don't do nothing. Don't watch a video and then do nothing. That's my advice. Okay. So the first principle in terms of creating the life you want to live, we got to talk about the mind, your thoughts. You need to think about the things you want to see in the world. If you are constantly gripping to negative thoughts, if you're constantly gripping to the things that you don't have, if only I could be this, if only I could have this, why is this missing in my life? When you focus on what's missing, all your attention and energy goes to what's missing, and that grows. Okay, that becomes the main thing in your life, the lack of whatever. On the other hand, if you focus on what you want out of your life, what you want to manifest, okay, thinking about manifestation, whatever it is that you want more of in your life, if you focus on those things and you think about those things, that's where your attention goes, that's where your energy is flowing. That becomes the main thing in your life. So be mindful of what you're thinking about. Know that you are not your thoughts. You can separate yourself. You can observe your thoughts. You can recognize when you're thinking about things really negatively or when you're focusing on this lack in your life. Okay, so that's kind of the first thing. Because if you think about things from this point of view of like abundance and love, in thinking about things as if they're already yours. Okay, let's say you really want a new job. You need to think like, I'm so open to aligned opportunities, or aligned opportunities find me. I'm so excited for my next chapter. Just thinking things positively versus, why can't I find a new job? I need a new job. I hate my job. Like, do you see the difference? You're just negative. Negativity isn't going to get you anywhere. Okay? Words. You got to speak to yourself with kindness, with compassion, with intentionality. No matter what your goal is. Again, I can't tell you exactly how you're going to do X goal. But I really think that it's so important to speak about things in a positive light. And our subconscious mind actually doesn't know when we're lying or not lying. So if you're constantly talking about things in a negative way, your subconscious mind takes that as truth. So talk about the ability to reframe. Let's look at it the other way. If I constantly talk about things positively, and I talk about things as if they're already mine, then my subconscious mind believes them. You start to form new neural pathways and new beliefs. And the way that you think about things, the way you talk about them is so important. If I'm thinking positively, but then the words that are coming out of my mouth are always out of frustration or anger or negative, see, there's a misalignment. So we want to align our thoughts with our words. And speaking to yourself with compassion, if you are really working on a fitness routine and you miss a day at the gym, are you saying out loud, oh my God, I'm so lazy for missing the gym today? Let's reframe that. I missed the gym today. I'm determined to get back at it tomorrow. I will not give up on my goal. Suddenly you go from being lazy to being determined to get back on track. So powerful. Completely different. Okay? And then actions. Are you acting in a way that aligns with what you want? If you're watching this self-help content, what are you actually doing to make your life better? What actions are you taking? Do your actions align with the way you're thinking and the way you're speaking? I could sit here and I could meditate and I could think about all the good things I want in my life and I could speak about them, but ultimately I also have to act in a way that aligns with those things. So thoughts, words, actions. Am I building positive routines, positive habits that align with, again, who I want to be and the things I want to manifest? And I would say it's like, are you putting one foot in front of the other towards your goal? You don't have to change your whole life overnight. In fact, I think the fastest way to get to places is to get there slowly and intentionally. If you take one foot in front of the other, every day you get 1% better, you're going to get a lot farther than if you try to do so many things all at once and then you crash and burn and then you feel like you're starting from zero. Enjoy the journey. You don't have to reach your destination tomorrow. In fact, you're never going to reach your destination. I really think the only destination is like the end of your life. Like, life is a journey. You reach one thing that you thought was a milestone or a goal, then you're going to have a new goal. So enjoy the journey. Enjoy where you are. One foot in front of the other, and work towards your goal. The last piece of this manifestation, which I haven't really touched on much, I think in past videos, I talk a lot about thoughts, words, actions, but something I want to talk about is feelings. And this is actually a very key component to manifestation, and I've been watching a lot of my own self-help videos that I've been looking up, listening to Dr. Joe Dispenza talk about manifestation and that rewiring of the brain. I think feeling is so especially important for when you can't see like how something is going to happen, right? Let's say you're at the very beginning of a journey and you're like, this is the thing I want. I just don't know how I'm going to make it happen. So what if I told you that the how is not your problem? Exactly how things will unfold is not something you need to worry about. And the reason I say that is because the destination is never a straight line. There's going to be ups, downs, bumps in the road. You're going to have to circle back before you reach whatever thing that you want. Okay, so the journey and the how, it's impossible for us to predict everything and know everything. So you don't even have to worry about that. But what you can do is when you think about your goal and you speak about your goal, dig into how it feels to achieve that thing and like actually sit with it and like feel the real feelings in your body. So if you're working, again, let's use our fitness example. You're working on a fitness routine. You really want to run a 10-kilometer race. You're going to close your eyes. You're going to visualize yourself at the end of the race, knowing you completed it. And you're going to think about how it feels. It feels exciting. It feels motivating. It feels inspiring. It feels peaceful. I feel deep gratitude knowing I achieved my goal. You're going to think about all these feelings and you're going to really feel them in your body. And if you can do that, like I think that's really the missing piece, is we have to be able to feel how things are going to feel for us as if it's already come true. And that's going to bring it to you a lot easier than if you're speaking, you're thinking positively, you're taking action, but you can't really feel how it's going to feel because deep down you don't actually believe it's possible. Okay, so all of these components work together and it's a process. It's not something that's a quick fix. It's not something you do once and it goes away. Like, it has to be like your lifestyle, right? And I think that's what I think the key takeaway from this video, if I had to give you my key takeaway, it's, we can't watch a video for a quick fix. We can't just take in everything that other people say for us. Like, we have to figure out what that means to us and how to use it in your life, and then try it. Implement things. Maybe something will work, maybe it won't, right? There's going to be trial and error, and that's okay. Don't give up. Okay? Gratitude and presence. If you can stay present, enjoy each day, and have a constant state of gratitude for everything that you do have, I really think your life is going to be a whole lot better as you work towards whatever goal. And also, like, life isn't just about glowing up or external success. Like, I think also just be mindful of how you're defining success and define what a successful life looks like for you, because that's also going to look different. We might be inspired by people's success, but that doesn't mean we want to be exactly like them. So I'm going to leave this here. I hope you got something from this. Get out into the world, journal, do what you got to do to figure out your goals. Not because someone else told you you should do it, but because you want to do it, because you want to improve your life. Okay, don't forget to subscribe, share this with a friend, like the video, and I hope to be able to chat with you very soon. Bye.